Let's take a look at Gilbert's first interception. You can see we're aligned in a trips formation. And as the ball is snapped, he's looking to these two routes. And you can see he's actually, once he makes his initial read, is looking to white all the way. On this route combo, usually this outside receiver, when we're running this out route combo, will have a vertical route, either a post or just an outside vertical route. It looks to me like on this play, white should have an outside releasing vertical route. Instead, he runs a stop. And so you can see that kind of creates a jam. What they're trying to do is clear out this space for the out and get a one-on-one deep. But so he throws to white anyway, and that's what ultimately leads to the interception. So let's take another look at it from Gilbert's perspective. A couple things I wanted to pick up on. First, just to notice what happens on the backside of this play. So, snap of the ball, BYU is bringing a corner blitz on this side, and Cody goes into protection mode. He helps chip this defender, and then he works out and picks up this blitzer. Does a really nice job there. You can see why he's in our protections in a case like this. But there's a couple other things to kind of be aware of on this play. First of all, to understand the route combos, what Gilbert's doing as he drops is he's reading this Mike linebacker. And that read is basically telling him whether to work this side of the play or to work the back side of this play. So because the Mike linebacker stays inside of this route, he's basically staying this side of the play. That tells Gilbert to work on these routes over here. Now, if you get that outside releasing vertical route from Darius White, what that's going to do, the reason why that's a nice route is depending on what this safety does. If the safety goes out deep, then you should get a one-on-one on this out route. If this safety comes down and covers this hitch route, if he's pulled down by that, then you're going to get a one-on-one on the outside. And or if he's hesitant on getting out to that route, then you're going to get a one-on-one to that deep route. So that's kind of what Gilbert is looking for. But there's something else he should notice as he's reading this play. He should notice this defensive end dropping off, and that should alert him that there's some type of zone blitz happening. The other thing is, as a quarterback drops, generally it's a good idea for him to glance left and right to pick up what's going on both sides in terms of protection. But that's something that comes with a lot of experience. So if he's aware that that blitz is happening, he would know to work the backside of this play, and that's really where the big play is on this play available to Mike Davis on the backside of this play on this post where he's got a one-on-one with this safety. That ball is thrown well. It's just a matter of him breaking one tackle for a touchdown. So this is, I don't want to harp on Gilbert too much here, but basically this is what I've seen from him a lot in his play, is that when he gets a picture that's unexpected or he doesn't know what to look for, then he sort of stays with it until he can make sense of it. This is supposed to be a 3-step drop. He's supposed to be looking to fire it right here. And instead, he waits until he understands what's going on, which never really happens, but he throws the ball anyway. So that's ultimately the part of his game that I feel like needs the biggest amount of improvement over, anything physical, is what Gilbert does when he gets a picture that he's not expecting. The right thing to do is to move on in the progression. This also shows you the difference between reading a progression and reading the defense. An experienced quarterback will take little cues like this, like a dropping defensive end, and understand what's happening on the defense as a whole, rather than just looking to his route progression and seeing what's open. So then that was followed by Gilbert's second interception. I'm just going to jump directly to the end zone view of this. So right before this, we've just shifted both of these tight ends from this side of the formation to the field side of this formation. And BYU responded by their safety coming down in support. So BYU is basically saying, yes, we respect the threat of the strong side run. Now the design of this play is then to run flex outside zone blocking to this side. And what that's supposed to do is pressure this safety, who's the kind of deep safety now, and hold him in place. and then work play action off of this play, and there should be an out and up to Mike Davis that should be in one-on-one coverage, essentially. What happens instead, so BYU's fed us the information, yes, we respect this running threat that you've presented by bringing their safety down. Then right at the last second, they sprint their other safety deep. So they've scouted us, basically, and said, okay, what we actually saw was that we don't want to give Mike Davis one-on-one matchups based on the Rice game. And so they run this safety deep to make sure they're not going to give that one-on-one matchup away. Now, Gilbert should have seen that safety going deep, and I'm sure he did. But as he rolled out, if you look at the picture that he has, he still feels like he has a makeable throw. So at the time when he plans to throw this, he's got Mike Davis, and he's got a fair amount of field to work with. He's got a third of the field to work with there. So that's a throw you'd make. The safety is at this, right at the hash, and your wide receiver is almost all the way at the sideline. So if it's a well-made throw, that's probably a touchdown. It's essentially a 60-yard pass we're looking at here. It needs to be, it's probably a 55-yard pass, and it needs to be about 3 yards deeper for this play to go for a touchdown. So if that pass is just a little bit better, it is a touchdown. So I don't fault him so much for throwing into that double coverage. That's definitely a throw that, you want to be able to make. It's definitely not as bad of a decision as his first interception was.